They say if you're going to steal from the best, and I have taken this idea from the Critical Drinker. If you all saw my last video I uploaded, that was just a short little clip I had of a Patreon live stream with him. And I wanted to upload that because it was a cool moment for me, but also just to see if I put his name in the title of the video, would it get me more noticed, and it clearly did. And I don't want to be one of those YouTubers that clickbaits. So yeah, but to honour the Critical Drinker, one of the first ever videos I watched of him was his favourite last stands, and I'm going to do exactly the same. Again, if you're going to steal from the best, but the rule for this is I am not allowed to include any of the ones that the Critical Drinker put in his video. Highly recommend you go check his video out. Obviously, all of his words and the way he describes stuff, he can put into a lot better context and describe them more articulately than I ever could. As you can see, if you're new here, I am rambling. That's why it's called Warzone Rambling. Suck it the fuck up and deal with it. But let's get straight into my favourite last stands in movies. And it would be wrong if I didn't feature the movie Aliens in here, because you all know that is my favourite movie of all time. But because the Critical Drinker had Hudson's last stand, I can't have it. So I'm going with Vasquez and Gorman. Not long after Hudson gets killed, and Vasquez, not much of, I mean, she's an amazing character, but she doesn't go through quite the same arc as Hudson did. But her last stand is just incredible because she's holding that final line between the group and the aliens chasing after them down the air ducts. And, you know, she manages to, you know, pull a pistol out and kill one by pinning its head up against the wall, shooting at it. But obviously that injures her, so Gorman goes back for her. And the reason I've included Gorman as well is because this is a nice little round-off character moment for him as well. Someone who who was considered, you know, a bit cowardly and out of his depth. You know, he goes back to help her. They both get trapped, and, you know, they're not going out to the aliens, so they go out together by suiciding by grenade. It's just a brilliant moment from when she's holding them off to when they go out together. One of my favourite last stands. Next up is going to be Kyle Reese from Terminator. Now, Michael Biehn, he's played one of my favourite characters of all time, but when he plays Kyle Reese in Terminator, that's probably my favourite performance of him. And, you know, just the way that the modern Terminator movies have tried to make Kyle Reese like this, you know, cocky talking mother, that's not Kyle Reese. You know, in Terminator, he was born in the war. All he knows is pain, suffering, malnutrition, and the threat of these machines. And at the very end of it, when the Terminator is chasing them through this warehouse, it is a warehouse, isn't it? Yeah. And all he's got is a fucking pipe against the T-800. And, you know, because he knows that if this gets to Sarah, it's all over. So he puts his body on the line, his life literally on the line. And he just goes at it, and he goes at it, and just trying to buy her time to get away. And that's his love for her, but also for the human race as well, because he knows that this could all be all over if this Terminator succeeds. And yeah, just it's one of those great movie moments where just sacrificing everything for the greater good and for the person that you love. So yeah, Kyle Reese from Terminator. Next up, I am going to go, I've got two Predator movies. The first one will go with Billy. These two deaths are very similar. But Billy's last stand, where he throws his weapons away after you hear, you know, Dylan being killed, his scream echoes across the jungle. Billy throws away his weapon, takes his shirt off and pulls out his machete to, again, just to help Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, you know, just to get as much time as possible. And you see it from the Predator's POV, the way he comes up over the horizon, you know, the heat vision on Billy. And Billy sees it, and credit to Sonny Langdon, you know, he plays that look in his eyes so well with, it's okay, come on, fight me, motherfucker, but he's shitting himself. And I'm glad you don't see it fully on screen, because it shows the Predator coming up over his POV, it shows Billy's face seeing the Predator, and then it cuts back to Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's about a 5-second gap, and then you hear Billy scream. That fight was over in 5 seconds, but you see Billy later when the Predator rips his spine and skull out of his corpse, and I think the Predator would have considered Billy a worthy opponent. In fact, that he had the most balls to be like, you know what, come on, fucking fight me. So yeah, Billy from Predator is, you don't get to see it on screen, and I'm happy about that, because in modern day movies you would have had this fucking 10-minute CGI fight scene of the Predator bouncing around like Yoda from the fucking Star Wars prequels. Going Predator 2, Lambert, Bill Paxton, he's fucking hell, he's just such a good actor. But yeah, Lambert, it's a similar sort of scene to Predator where he gives up his life to help Leona and the rest of the passengers on the train get away, because it's the subway scene. If you've not seen Predator 2, it's a fucking amazing scene. But yeah, he knows he's probably not going to die. He's unloading clips of bullets into the Predator and then not doing anything. And it comes down to just, he's got to pick up a machete from this dead gangster on the wall, up from the floor. And, you know, the Predator's just creeping towards him, and it says that fucking creepy line, "Want some candy?" Just this horrible shape just coming towards him, and you can see he's shitting himself, but he doesn't run away. He's doing it to help Leona and the passengers get away to safety. And again, you don't see the death on screen, but you do see Lambert later when the Predator is again taking his spinal cord and skull, because that Predator again probably considered him a worthy and brave opponent. So yeah, Lambert from Predator 2. I'm going to give a quick special shout out here to Iron Man in Endgame. As much as it is a very quick scene, that moment of realisation of what Iron Man has to do. I'm not talking about the whole final fight, because that's just epic on its own. Endgame doesn't hit anywhere near as good as Infinity War for me. But that last moment, that last realisation on Tony Stark's face when he realises, okay, this is what I have to do in order for everything to survive. And he has that brief glance with Doctor Strange, to the point of where he clicks his fingers. It's just a beautiful, it's not quite a last stand, but it's quite a last moment. But I'd feel bad if I didn't put it in there. And the final one has to go to Spoon from Dog Soldiers. If you've not seen Dog Soldiers, what the fuck are you doing with your life? British horror went through this great phase at the beginning of the 2000s with movies like 28 Days Later, The Descent, and Dog Soldiers is just fucking incredible. But when it gets down to Spoon's last stand, when these werewolves are getting into the cottage, and he locks himself in the kitchen, and he realises, you know, his MP5 has run out of ammo, and he's like, oh shit, this is it, oh shit, this is it. And then it dawns him, oh shit, this is it. And he's like, I'm gonna go down, I'm not gonna go down without a fight. So he pulls his fists up, goads the werewolf to come through the door, and just starts fucking ducking, weaving, left hook, right hook, grabs a knife, manages to jab it in the werewolf, kicks one of its teeth out, it impales in the wall, and then he gets a knife and just starts laying into it, just letting all this anger out. The werewolf gets back up, throws him across the kitchen, and now it's just desperation, survival mode. He's picking everything up from that kitchen shelf and launching it at the werewolf. It's fucking plates, candlesticks, cutlery, anything. And then he picks up what has got to be one of the most classic things in horror movie, the legendary frying pan. And then he just channels, he just goes into fucking Jet Li mode, laying into this fucking werewolf, smacking it, hitting him. He goes for the final hit, and then a second werewolf comes in from the side, grabs him by the throat and pins him up by the wall. And with his last breath, he says the line, "I hope I give you the shits, you fucking wimp." Then spits his chewing gum in the werewolf's face, and then the scene cuts away, and that's obviously the end of Spoon. But it's entertaining to watch. It's got its comedy element in it, because Spoon is just such a fucking amazing character. But for a very underrated movie, yeah, Spoon's Last Stand is fucking incredible. The whole of that movie is, even if I tell you just on the surface, it's a werewolf movie about the, you know, these soldiers on a training exercise get stuck in this cabin in the Scottish Highlands, you'd think it's done, but it's such a fucking great movie. Lots going on, and I highly recommend you watch Dog Soldiers when you can. Finishing off this video now with this footage, you'll see it's a rare bit of play from Shane, because I think this guy he's about to kill here was the last of the third team, so it's just Mikey and Shane against one more, and this is where they'd normally go for the kill, but Shane knows he's got a fuckload of stims, so he goes to wait him out. And yeah, this is how Shane won us the game, by not firing the final bullet. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video and you did agree with my final stands, let me know if there was any that I missed, because there probably is. Just let me know what your favourite final stands in movies are. And yeah, if you're new here, please subscribe. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a cheeky like. I think this is the first video I've ever done where we've got 4 wins, and it's the first time in a while that Domi has not got a winning kill. So yeah, let Domi know he needs to get his game back, because Mikey's been on fucking fire recently, and I've been enjoying sniping, and Shane is injecting himself with heroin to win. Nice one. Take care, guys. Much love. Peace.